Hi, I'm Rob from the Geek Show Podcast Network, and we're back for another conversation about video games. And today I'm joined by Mark.
Hello.
So, what we got today, Mark?
We have Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania?
Yep. Sonic has gone back to its classic roots, and we have a new game finally.
Is it zipping up its boots?
He's zipping up his boots, he's got to go fast and collect all of those rings.
Ah, damn. You didn't get the song reference.
I did not.
Zipping up my boots, going back to my roots. Damn it.
It's still lost on us. Somebody listening.
Somebody's going to get that reference.
Someone will get it, and they'll be like, that'll make the day of that.
You can tell how different our ages are just from that one reference.
Well, this is the Sonic fandom who'll be watching this, so that might be lost on everybody.
I used to be a Sonic fan until I realised it was just a Commodore Garden platformer with a bit of speed added to it.
Don't say that. They'll get you. They'll kill you. I'm not going to lie. I didn't grow up with Sonic. The first Sonic game I played was Sonic Mega Collection on the Nintendo GameCube. I was a Nintendo fan back in the day, and I played Sonic and Knuckles, I believe it was, at a friend's house, but I never really sat down and played the original games properly until a lot later. And it's one of those series that maybe I might have enjoyed it a little bit more when I was younger, but I think when I first played it, I was just kind of like, yeah, this is good, but it's nothing special. But Sonic Mania is a lot of fun. I picked this on the Nintendo Switch simply because it's got the whole handheld thing, and Sonic's one of those games I kind of feel it's great in short bursts. So having that on the go, yeah, that's brilliant. So this is a return to classic Sonic and takes place not long after Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles.
Hang on, so are you telling me that there's an actual story?
There is a slight resemblance of plot. Sonic games always try and get a bit of plot in, but it never seems to work, which is why we kind of get stuff like Sonic 06 and Sonic Boom, where they kind of try and get stories out, but they just don't work. But this is literally bare bones plot. It's Dr. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik, I can't remember which way they want to call him these days. He's collected this thing where it allows them to distort various classic Sonic levels, and Sonic has to go and stop him, as he always has to.
So, when you say it's returning to its roots, is this a side-scrolling platform run jump?
Yeah, it is literally classic Sonic. It is everything that you loved and hated from the original 3 games and Sonic and Knuckles. We don't have millions of new pals. We don't have cows or whatever they wanted to call them. We don't have a dodgy relationship with a human woman. It's literally pure, gotta go fast. You've got to go run from left to right and avoid spikes, kill monsters, collect rings. It is literally everything you wanted or wanted to play again from the original Sonic games.
That's the one thing that I never understood, Sonic's strange fascination with rings.
Maybe the onion rings, maybe he's got an addiction to onion rings. I don't know, I just kind of felt that they needed something to collect in the game, and whereas Mario was always iconic for coins, they kind of just thought, yeah, we can have rings.
Yeah, the rings, because why? It's circular. It looks a bit like coins, but it has a hole in the middle.
Yeah, it's not quite coins, it is just coin substitute. And as always, if you get hit, you lose all of your coins. That's kind of
rings,
their kind
rings,
of work is
rings.
Your lives.
Wrong game. It's rings.
Yes, coins, rings. We're going to get mixed up plenty of times because Sonic kind of is one of those games where it borrows a lot of things from other titles, but does it well in its own right.
It depends on which Sonic game you're talking about.
We're talking about the good ones.
I like the defensiveness that suddenly appears with Sonic fans as soon as you say stuff like that. Like, I remember a game.
Well, I'm one of these people who at one point had an entire Wii U collection, and I did some reviews for some of the Sonic games on there. And yes, people ate me alive because I dissed Sonic Lost World. That was not a good game. Sonic Boom, which people reckon was the worst game, was actually better than Sonic Lost World.
I don't know, was Sonic Boom the one where they redesigned the characters so they all look like basketball players?
Yeah. It's not as bad as people think it was.
That's the only way I can describe them. They had like really long arms and really long legs, and you just look at them and you go, were you captured by Robotnik? Did he put you on the rack? Did he get medieval on you?
It was Sonic for the hip young crowd, yeah, except the hip young crowd did not want that Sonic.
No, they didn't.
But it's Sonic's one of those unfortunate characters, really, where they've tried to do so much with him over the past, I'm going to say 20 years. It's been a long time since there's been any great Sonic games. Yeah, I'm sure people will dispute some of the ones like Sonic Generations, Sonic Colors, but
Sonic
I kind
Colors,
of felt the first ones were the really good ones.
I don't know. What were the ones on the Dreamcast?
Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2?
Not so much Adventure 2, but Sonic Adventure was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't great though. It wasn't.
Yeah, but
it wasn't
Sonic
really
as a
the same
game,
vein as the first ones. That's the thing.
I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of Sonic. For me, it's as I said. For me, it's Common Garden platformer, but then again, from my perspective, I've been playing platform games since I was a kid, and so I've played a lot more and of a much bigger variety than most gamers probably have, because I'm 42 this year.
Well, Sonic, much like other platformers, much like maybe Mario, much like Crash Bandicoot, much like Spyro or Croc, maybe even much like Little Big Planet, its main force comes from nostalgia.
Yeah. Whereas my nostalgia goes back to games like Sonic Mania.
Yeah, I mean, I played Treasure Island Dizzy before I played stuff like Mario, and that game hasn't aged incredibly well, but I still love it.
Yeah.
But Sonic was just unfortunate in that I think I'm going to get killed for this, but Sega just stopped making great games for it, and I think they kind of just... This is going to sound rather wrong, and I know what the fandom's like, and I know this stuff exists. Sonic basically became the man-whore of the video game world, in which they tried to do so much with him. They tried to change stuff with him, and it just never worked. They tried to put him onto different consoles. Eventually, it just kind of... Sonic became that character, that franchise where everyone's had a go of him.
So it's a bit like what Nintendo tried to do with Mario one time over, because they did, right?
Yeah, that CDI game of Mario. Oh,
yeah,
God.
Let's not deny it, okay? And then the Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, RPG's still a good game. We'll discuss that another time. But
it's a good game, but the thing is, when you get right down to it, what was it? Super Smash Brothers is basically... it's basically a Nintendo orgy.
Yeah, it's fan service.
Yeah, that's how they got all that Mario man-whoring out of their system. And maybe that's what Sega needs to do. Sega.
See, this is actually a really good game.
Yeah,
this is a love letter to Sonic. They're not trying to do anything stupidly new with them. They're not trying to introduce new characters. They're not trying to have the fan creations, even though this is largely a fan-created game.
Yeah.
This is everything a person grown up with Sonic in the early days once. A lot of the levels are remastered levels. There's nods to other games. I'm not going to go into spoiler territory, but anybody who's watching this and has played the game will know what I'm on about. The boss of level 2 is an absolutely great nod to another Sonic game. And it's a lot of stuff like that that keeps a lot of the game going.
Okay.
There's nothing hugely bad about it. It does feel like a classic platformer, but much like we discussed with Ukulele, it feels like a classic platformer, but it doesn't feel like they've really advanced it. But it's up to you whether or not that's a good or a bad thing. Personally, I've enjoyed playing it. I got this just before I went on a long train journey to a convention, and this was a fun little game I could just sit and play on the train. But it wasn't anything more than that.
Okay.
It wasn't a grand game. It wasn't one of those AAA games where you're going to get hundreds of hours out of it. It's one of those games you can sit, you can play it for a few hours. Because it's a Sonic game, Sonic games can be beat in an hour or two if you're good enough.
But what if you're like me, where you know for a fact that you've played and enjoyed platformers, but they're not your type of game, so you haven't bothered being good enough?
You'll probably still get some enjoyment out of it. I'm not a great gamer whatsoever. I struggle on a lot of games. But this one was one, because you've got like a level select now, you don't have to restart from the beginning like you did like in some of the earlier ones.
Yeah.
You can just pick up from whichever level you left off. You've got Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles to choose from, or you can have a combination between them. So there is a little bit of variety in going through them. As always with Sonic games, at least the earlier ones, there is a few different paths you can go for each level, so you can kind of do things a little bit differently to kind of make things a little bit easier or a little bit harder on yourself.
Yeah.
One thing I've got to say is that this music in the game is pretty good. A lot of people are huge fans of the Sonic music, and this one I felt was as good as the others in the series. But again, there were nothing special. They were just kind of remastered versions of some of the classic ones, like Green Hill Zone or Chemical Zone. There weren't really anything new.
Okay.
And that's the only thing I've got. That's the only issue really I've got with Sonic Mania. It's, if you're nostalgic for Sonic, you're going to get a lot more mileage out of someone who probably isn't. And that's both a good thing and a bad thing, I would kind of say.
Yeah.
It is, fortunately, because it has been a popular game, it is introducing new people to Sonic, and I think it's a good starting point for Sonic new Sonic fans as well, rather than say Sonic Lost World or Sonic Boom or Shadow the Hedgehog, or whichever one a lot of people did start with.
Oh God, Shadow the Hedgehog. I forgot about
We have
that.
to remind people of that. Oh God, the comment section's going to eat us alive here.
Hey, if you like Shadow, then you know what I'm talking about.
We can't discuss the Sonic fandom. We know what they get up to. We've seen the pictures, unfortunately.
No, we haven't seen the pictures. I have not seen any pictures.
I ran the Sonicon Hentai panel. We've got a segment on the Sonic fandom. Enough said. We're going to end it there. So yeah, Sonic Mania. If you're a newcomer to Sonic, it's good. It's at a nice, decent price point. I believe it was $15.99, which I can't really complain about.
Yeah.
Nostalgic for Sonic, you're going to enjoy it. Did you agree with what we discussed with Sonic Mania, or did you object to it? Do you want to discuss Sonic Mania with us a little bit more personally? Leave a comment leave a like, leave a subscribe. Or you could do one of the three. But we prefer if you did all of them.
If you want more of our conversations about video games, you'll find them over here. And over here, you will find some interviews with people we met going around the UK on our travels from convention to convention. And over here is our Patreon. We have a Patreon, yes. If you want us to do more conversations about video games, then please show your support. We also do podcasts as well, which you'll find on our website, thegeekshow.co.uk. That's it from us. I have been Rob.
I've been Mark.
We'll see you on the next conversation about video games.